For those of you that are just joining us, I'm Angela Brown. I'm the CEO of Savvy Cleaner. And for the last 32 years, I focused on leaving the world a better place by leaving it clean. So I was really excited when I learned that there's a guest that could come on our show today and teach us how to have a happy home. So please help me welcome the happy home specialist, Rebecca West. Moving, and I know moving across the country, you're going to have to make some tough choices. But I know that when we moved from one house to another, we had to make some tough choices. And it was because we had just bought this whole house full of furniture that fit perfectly where it was. But then when we moved to a new house, even though it was a bigger house, it had walls in different places. And there were windows that you wouldn't put that piece of furniture in front of a window, for example. And so the walls were different and our furniture didn't fit. And we had to then downsize some of our furniture. It was literally a conscious decision. Do I want to get rid of the furniture? But it didn't fit the design or the layout of the new home. And we went from a home that had lots of little walls on the inside to a great big open space plan. And there were no walls to put that furniture up against. So we ended up getting rid of a lot of furniture and moving to our next home. And we haven't moved yet, but I'm already thinking, would I take this item right now to the next home? And the answer is no, I wouldn't. So wait a second. Why do I have it now? Right? If I'm not using it now and I wouldn't take it to the next home, can I give myself permission right now to go ahead and let go of that?
And it is in those small moments that I think we do our best work. People try and attack clutter or cleaning the house or remodeling their house. They tend to start with like picturing the entire project, and that's just too big. It's
Mm,
overwhelming for anybody. So we should be taking it one object at a time. If every day you just looked at one object in your house and go, do you belong here or not?
mm,
And then if once a week the answer was no and you took action on that, that's one thing out of your house every single week. It doesn't have to be this huge ordeal, and it's frequently more successful if you're building a tiny daily habit than trying to kill yourself doing it all at one time.
mhm. That's a great point. I know that with your clients, you have a lot of conversation about items in your house that are just flat out hard to clean.
Yes.
Tell me about that because as a professional house cleaner, I have a whole laundry list of those where I say, no way, I would never have that in my house because I know how hard it is to clean or how high maintenance it is. What are some of
Well, I'm
yours?
excited to hear what your list is, but I'll start with mine. So, I am a full professional interior designer, and up until recently, I was helping people with full remodels. And obviously, I've gone through my own. And I also had my own housekeeping business when I was in college. That's how I paid for part of my tuition. So, yeah, it was super fun. I actually loved it because unlike cleaning your own house, when you clean somebody else's house, you can pretend it stays clean in your head for like a whole week. I loved that.
All right, that's how it works.
So, yeah, okay, here's a couple of items. If you're doing a kitchen or bathroom remodel, I like to avoid natural stone. So, like travertine is really inexpensive for bathroom tile. I did that to myself once. Marble is a classic kitchen counter, beautiful. But the problem with both of those is that they're made of the same thing as limestone and they're easy to etch.
Mhm.
So, if you use any kind of a cleaner that has, I think it's a acid high pH, it will etch that surface. So you have to be thoughtful about how you're cleaning it, which I don't want to be thoughtful about how I clean anything in my house.
And can I
So,
stop you right there? Because we're
yeah.
just teetering right on the brink of one of those that just makes me so angry, and that's the natural stone backsplashes behind the stove. And I bid
Mhm.
2 jobs this last week, and I walked in, and they're beautiful homes. And I looked at 'em like, no way." And I'm trying to make my eyes stop from rolling in my head like, you so did not just do that." And I'm thinking spaghetti sauce and bacon grease, and as soon as it hits that stone, game's over. I can't help you there, you know? Why? Why do people do that? All of you guys stop that, please don't. Tell your builders don't do natural stone is a backsplash. All right, back to you.
Well, and it's a problem because sometimes it's inexpensive and sometimes it's just gorgeous. First of all, there are things you can do with natural stone that are really hard to do with porcelain. And Mother Nature, my first degree was geology. I love rocks. I love what this planet has created. And so there are things you can do, and there are things that natural stone looks like that you just cannot replicate. That's getting better because with the printing technology now, porcelain tile is phenomenal. And if you go with a little bit higher end porcelain tile where they don't repeat the pattern over and over again, which is a real giveaway that it's not natural stone, some of it really looks real. You have to pay attention to your edges, right? Because the cut edge of that tile won't look like a cut edge of a piece of stone. So you have to be a little bit clever about it. But with technology now, there's lots of solutions that don't require natural stone, and that's what we want to go with. So marble, travertine, and when I say natural stone, granite isn't nearly as high maintenance. And granite is a word in interior design that is used for basically all natural stone that isn't marble. So it means something specific in geology. Ignore that definition. In interior design, it's just natural stone that isn't marble, basically. That still needs sealing officially about twice a year. Nobody does that. Like nobody. You should. But it doesn't tend to stain and etch the way marble was, so you're not taking as big a risk if you don't seal it. But if you're wanting the lowest maintenance kitchen counter or any counter surface, and you want the stone look, then that's where the quartzes come in. That's a man-made product that doesn't take any sealing or anything. It's made from stone, but it's also got a bunch of resins and stuff in it that make it so you
And
don't
that's
have to seal it.
sealed, right? So that it doesn't have
Mhm.
the porous effects of stained
Exactly.
granite.
Yeah. Now, obviously, anything can be nicked or stained if you work hard enough at it, but it's a pretty good bulletproof surface. And then I also like to shout out laminates because they're not as fashionable right now, but they are so bulletproof. They're fabulous. So, laminates for less expensive, super durable counter surfaces. And then, of course, the quartzes are really easy to use. And then in those bathrooms, porcelain and ceramic tile. Just don't install the natural stone, especially on your shower floors and your bathroom floors around the toilet, because urine is an acid and it will etch and stain. Because, I mean, it's mostly the boys, but I suppose us women might be making a mess sometimes too. But pee gets on the floor around your toilet, and you're not going to clean that up often enough or frequently enough to keep it from etching. So you get those horrible stains
And smells, and
and smells
smells.
because it soaks in. Yeah, because it is a porous material. But hey, at least we've stopped putting carpets in the bathrooms, so that's a win.
Every time somebody has those, like, little covers that go over the toilet seat,
Well, I grew up with
the
those.
furry toilet seats, whatever, they send me pictures and they're like, "Is this still a thing?" I'm like, "Please no, please don't."
Oh, it's a thing. I grew up in Kentucky most of my life, and it is definitely still a thing.
I think my grandmother had one of those when I was young, and at the time, it seemed really cool and soft, but now that I know better, I'm like, "Oh, no, that please don't."
I know.
So another please don't for me is the ferns that people put above their kitchen cabinets. And I can't tell you
Oh, yeah,
how
when the
many
cabinets
homes
don't go
we've
all the way to the
gone
ceiling.
into. Yeah. And there's like bacon grease on all the ferns or all the flowers that are up there. And I'm like, why did you do that? And people are like, oh, it looks so beautiful. Well, it does for a week, the first week. And then when the dust starts settling and nobody ever dusts it on time. So literally 4 times a year, we got to pull all those plants out. We got to take them outside. We got to hose and rinse them down and put some suds on them. And I mean, we got to give them a full bath. And then they go back to cooking bacon grease and it goes right up there. And then when dust comes into the kitchen or the air conditioning kicks on, it dances around your house and it sticks right on those leaves. Oh, it looks atrocious. Guys, please don't. You're gonna have me at your house yelling at you going, "Oh, no way."
This is really the key to a low maintenance house is you first have to figure out what low maintenance means to you and what you're willing to do. Like I don't keep houseplants because the maintenance of houseplants isn't worth my time and energy. I love them. I'd love to have a jungalow, but it's not worth my time and energy. And that's in large part because travel is too high of a priority for me, and travel and plants are in conflict with each other. Clutter means something different to everybody. I have a rock, geology major. I have my rock collection. I love my rock collection, but that's a lot of tiny, tiny things to dust. So I only display them behind a closed cabinet. So we have to be very thoughtful.
Oh, man, I'm so sad our time is up, but you guys get on the email, send Rebecca your comments, and win your design coaching session, Rebecca at seriouslyhappy.com.